welcome to our channel, the LS Way TN. If you don't mind, please take the time to subscribe. I wanted to jump on today and share with you guys how I store fabric. So I like to have a fabric stash on hand for small projects, large projects, whatever I'm doing. I mostly quilt, so when I store fabric, normally I buy in a yard to 2 yards depending on what I'm using it for, but as far as my stash, it's usually a yard and a half. And I like to store it in a safe spot, a safe way, because it's going to take me years to get through all the fabric I have. This is just one little shelf. I've got all of this basically behind me, so most of it's fabric stash. So I have a shelf like this, another one over on the other side, and then I have storage above me. But I love storing it this way. And I've actually got a bunch that I need to roll out and store. I'll fill probably another half of these. But like I said, it's going to take me years to get through my fabric. So I have to store it a safe way. So you don't want a lot of light on it. You don't want dust to be able to get on it, things like that. And if you store it safely, it'll last you for years. And when you're paying good money for quality fabric, you want to make sure you're storing it safely. Not only that, organization's key when you're making quilts and things like that, because I like to create quilts as I go. I don't do a lot of patterns. I make up my own stuff, so I like to put them together and like mess with different colors and different prints and things like that. So I like to have stuff on hand in case I need to throw in some extra in there. So these are comic book cardboards, so it's how they store comic books. I bought these at a local comic book store, but I've also bought them on Amazon, and I'll attach that to in the descriptions on this video. If you go back to my sewing room video, I think I put it on there also. But these are the little cardboards, and then they come in different sizes, so it's whatever size shelf that, or however you're storing your fabric. And then these are the covers, and these are acid free. They are archival safe, all that good stuff. So it will protect your fabrics. So I like to store it this way on my stash. And I'll show you how to roll one in just a second. Okay, so the cardboards come in, let's see what size these are. They are 7.5 by 10.5. And they're great for a yard and a half to 2 yards. If you can roll really, really tight rolls, then you might can get a little bit more on there. But what I do is I start off by trimming this board down just a little bit so that you can make room for the fabric. So normally the board is this wide. I don't know if you guys can see. So I cut off about ½ an inch to 3/4 of an inch, just straight down, draw a line, cut it with my scissors or just freehand it. It's not that big a deal. Then once I get it cut, I will have a yard, just like you kind of see them roll it at the store. So I'll have, this is 1.5 yards. So I measure it out, write it down on the plastic bag how much I have in there. So you'll see 1 yard to 1.5 yards, 2 yards, 1 3/4 yards, whatever it is. You want to write it on the back so you know when you're doing a project. And then you just fold it in half and then slip the cardboard down in there. You want to turn the end in, and you just want to roll it as tight as you can roll it, just like they roll it in the fabric store. And then keep the cardboard down, and it doesn't need to be any taller than the cardboard. So you just want to keep rolling it. I'm just going to do this one really quick. I usually will roll it a little bit tighter. And when I get to the end, I will actually tuck this in just a little bit. So there is my roll fabric. And then I will take the fabric and just slip it in the bag. And I'll sit here and do this. I'll just take a day out, a couple hours or a day, whatever, and I'll roll fabric and then add to my stash. So I have a area over here on the shelf that's all glassed in, and I store it in there until I can roll it and put it on the shelf. And then you just put it in there, fold the bag over, and you put a little piece of tape on the back of the bag, and then your fabric is safe. You can put it on the shelf with the other fabric. That's one way of storing it. That's kind of my favorite way, just because you can see it when you're working on a project and you want to go pull whatever color you need, print, whatever. And I will attach that. Then And I have a container. I have all kinds of ways of storing fabric. When I go to the quilt store or the fabric shop, I will buy something to make a whole quilt. So I might buy a panel, I might buy the different prints, I might buy some layer cakes, I may buy just some pre-cut fabrics. And if it's a quilt project, I will put all that together normally and put it in a bag like this. This is just a bag I had from some sheets I ordered, or the bag you ordered your comforter in. I'll use those also for finished quilt tops until I have time to quilt them, and they're great. So that's some different ways you can source it too and save those. Another way is these boxes, and I got these at Joann's. They're heavy duty, made really, really well, and they have dividers in them. They come with plenty of dividers. So I have a panel in this section and pre-cuts that match it, and then I have some solid fabrics, and I have some more printed fabrics in it that came separate that I bought by yard, and all that's together. So I can pull this out and I'm ready to work on my quilt project. Same thing, these were some little packs I got on clearance, some little bundles, and I just stuck all those together in here because I'll use those for something eventually. This is some more pre-cuts, and this is the solid fabric I was going to use with it also. So this kind of matched it, and I just bought extra fabric of that. So that's ready for a little quilt top or whatever I want to do with it. So you can store them like this also. I also store my jelly rolls in these just so I can see them. I store, a lot of times I'll go to when they have shows, quilt shows, and they have fabric you can buy smaller than like a fat quarter, and I'll buy that. Like if it's vintage, things like that, I'll buy that and store it in these boxes, just fold it up and put it in these boxes. Also, if you get pre-cuts, like I said before, you can put in here. Fat quarters store great in these boxes, and they just stack on top of each other. You can see everything that's in them. You don't even really have to open them. You just get them down and kind of see what you got. Also, I want to show you real quick. I even do as simple as this is a Ziploc bag, and this has everything for a quilt top that I'm going to make eventually. And I just put everything that it matched when I bought it together, and then that's a project ready to go. I have another one right here that's actually got a panel with it, and then I've got the different fabrics that go with it. I'll put it in a Ziploc bag and I'll store it like that. So I do have a section up here that's quilts that are ready to go, that I've got everything that with them all together, so it's ready to go. I just pull it and work on it. They're not really intended for anybody in particular, so it just saves me a lot of time that way, and I'm not searching for fabric that matches and things like that if I keep it together. So I hope this helps. Like I said, I'll attach the boards. This shelf, eventually I have some of my sewing things on here too, but eventually I'll have several of these once I get all this fabric put up, that I'll just fill up with all of that. So I hope you enjoyed. Hope this helps. Please comment, like, and share, and please join our page. We've got lots of fun stuff coming up. Not just, this is kind of my winter stuff I do, but we've got a lot of gardening stuff coming up, things like that. We've always got something going on year round, so that I'm going to share with you guys. So please like and subscribe again. Appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great day.